I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out.
Here's my resume.
But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's a lie. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
And once again, it is my privilege to introduce to you Mr. Jim Neighbors. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The newborn hay sends all its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, how I long for my Indiana home.
As the traditional balloons ascend, thank you to Jim Neighbors.
Do you want to make sure the joinery you...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing content here on the National Racing Network. Our good friend, the late, great Jim Neighbors. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. That's a way you kick off a show that will be coming up to you live from the world's greatest race course. The Indy Pro 2000 Championship is who we'll be following along with here tonight. My name is Chris Graham. My normal co-pilot for the evening, James Watson, is off driving Corvettes in California this over tonight and the next day or so. So I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Ben Carswell, our fantastic IndyCar writer for NRN, and my normal color commentator for the TNT series, Mr. Kylo Ciacelli. Kylo, we'll start with you. Welcome to the show, buddy. This one's going to be fun, man.
It's Talladega in open-wheel cars. That's the best way I can describe it for the folks at home who are watching for the first time. We're going to see a lot of pack racing. We're going to see 2, maybe 3 wide on every lap of the 2.5-mile Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the historic IMS.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. And Ben, both you and Kylo have driven this race, several of these splits thus far this week. What are we thinking we're going to see here? I mean, obviously, you know, if we're hearing Talladega, that sounds like pack racing and outright insanity, basically.
Well, yeah, it is pack racing. It's going to be 2, 3, even 4 wide on the straights. They can get up to 5 wide here. So there's plenty of room to make your move if you get a run. With how short this race is, these guys are going to be making that move immediately. But there's going to be a little bit of that hang back and wait till the end mentality, too, like you get in pack racing. And these cars are a lot more fragile. So any long bump, if you bump the guy in front, if you tap a wall, it's going to be game over.
Yeah, that's a big part of this here is let's pick up our qualification sessions as they are underway. Jason Owens on the left-hand side of your screen. Indy Casey on the right-hand side. This is everything we would want to see in a race at the Speedway. Basically, it's the Freedom 100 is sort of what it looks like here. An insane 3 splits of 19 cars apiece, by the way, making up the entry list here. That means that this SOF is monstrous. We'll get the data pulled up here for you in just a second, but
I caught it when I jumped in. 3,700 is the strength of field for this race.
Yes, let's go. And by the way, we're down to just a couple of weeks left. There's this week and next week at Watkins Glen that will decide a championship. Entering this race, John Betafer sitting on 1,621 points. Graham Sanders, a geodesic teammate, just a handful back at 1,593. David Porcelli's about 120 back. About 180 back, excuse me, in third in points. But with how crazy the drop weeks have been here, Kylo, this is really going to be kind of insane.
Yeah, such a high strength of field really means that this could be a huge amount of points. The wild card of the night, a lot of names we do not normally see in this series. About half the field really is new names to this. Just looking down the list, series regulars like Ted Burns are the number 10 car in this race. So definitely a wrench thrown in there for some of these guys. They're going to have some different competition to what they're normal to see here.
Yeah, quite frankly, there's a lot of names that we don't see here. And this could hurt some of these guys in the championship as well. They show up for the SOF race. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to be second split potentially. That really makes things ugly a little bit. Oh, hold on to it there. That was Isaac Smith, currently 4th on the board, trying to get off of the pit lane. Let's pick up Matt Hollabaugh as he makes his way around here. And we'll take a look and we'll grab a hold of Mike McConville as he is out on the racetrack as well.
Oh. I think Dakota DeMeg might have just attenuated himself there.
Let's see here. All right, right-hand side of the screen, we have Brendan Clough, and we'll pick up Matt Houston, one of our buddies from Raceverse here. Oh, that's sneaky. Matt, you can't do that.
I see he's taking the short route around the track.
Yes, that is the warm-up lane. That is something that technically is protestable.
Oh, there he goes again.
Oh, busted. David Porcelli, by the way, your quick lap timer at this rate, 54.894. Now, with that being said, we were really seeing lap times in the kind of low 55s. If you're down in the 54s, pretty darn likely you were at least touching the access lane at some point during the run.
Well, I don't see a time for Houston here, so I don't think he either didn't complete his lap in time or.
No, his first lap didn't count either, so I think iRacing might have fixed that and given you a slowdown or something there, because neither of his laps counted. He did not have a lap time there.
Yeah, Matt Houston does not have a lap time. Actually, there's quite a few that did not have a lap time here. And let's tell you a little bit about what you're going to hear on the broadcast tonight. A little bit different format than kind of what we're used to doing here. This will be a sort of radio style call, a little bit. We were planning on trying to put somebody in every corner, but unfortunately we just kind of couldn't get that worked out. But we're going to have Kylo calling the action from turn 2, the backstretch, and turn 3. I will have the call from turn 4, the front stretch, and turn 1, and we'll have Ben here providing expert insight over the course of the night. But first, we got to get you through the starting grid for this one. David Porcelli and Indy Cassie going to line up on the front row, 68 thousandths separating those two cars on the front row. This is huge for David Porcelli and any possible hopes he has of a championship. Nash Fry and Antonio Alvarez will occupy row number 2 tonight. Isaac Smith and Ted Burns on row 3. Row 4, Jacob Oster and Brandon Clough. Matt Hollabaugh, Mike McConville on row number 5. Row 6, Jason Owens and Brian Karszewski. Row number 7, Cameron Baustin and Brody Garner. Row number 8, Andrew Berry and Dakota DeMeg. Starting with 14th place Gardner, all of these cars did not set a time in qualifications. Derek Rolleveld from Canada and Matt Houston on row number 9. And all alone in row number 10 will be Nagisa Yoshikawa. Oh my goodness. Now, these laps are going to be very long. And Ben, how does that play into things here as the field takes off to start getting things warmed up? What goes through your head here? These laps are long, but really this is a mental game at this point.
I think you just sort of, at this point right here, is going to become interminably long, this pace lap. But there's nothing you can do to really warm up or catch an advantage because there is very little mechanical grip that's going to help you here because there's just so much aero grip and these cars aren't going fast enough. But a lot of what you're going to be doing right here, especially for these guys, Andrew Berry, DeMeg, Houston, Yoshikawa, these guys know each other. Right at the back, you see Owens there, Hollabaugh, Burns, Oster. All of these guys kind of know each other through various iRacing things. So they're looking, they're saying, who do I know around me and who do I not know? And where am I going to find, not friends necessarily, because you can't bump draft, but a guy I know isn't going to make a move on me in a crazy, unpredictable way. So really kind of assessing your situation, seeing who you're around as we come through turn 3 here. You want to know who's around you and what they're going to do.
Let's see here. Team I5G is checking in here saying Jacob has just found out he was in a broadcast race. Nee Camargo, this one should be on the ARCA Break Weekly. I tend to agree with you here, Nee. This one has the potential for epic dumpster fire. It has the potential for some wildness. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit the buttons and do all that fun stuff. But as always, race fans, the start of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship is going to be all yours. off of turn number 4. Lap 1 is going to go in the books, and it looks like it might be led by David Porcelli, but here comes Nash Fry, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Fry, Cassie, Porcelli battling into 1. Everybody's going to keep it clear thus far. They're still 3 wide off of 1.
Down into turn 2 for the second time on the inside. David Porcelli has cleared the pack. Ted Burns up into second place from his lower grid starting spot. He's up into second, pushing Porcelli down the back straightaway. They're 4 wide, going back for the 5th position now as they head down into turn number 3. Everybody's doing a great job of keeping line so far, but they got to tighten it up going into the short chute.
Oh my goodness. Top 3 single file. They are behaving themselves. Everybody else is not. This is absolute insanity. Ben, kind of what we expected to see early here? Well, I think we may have lost Ben again. But for any of you podcast listeners, that's kind of an expected thing. We're still 3 wide for the 4th position. Andrew Berry up on the outside of the racetrack. Dakota DeMeg with the fastest lap of the race.
The front 4 cars have formed a line and they are pulling away. First side-by-side battle is for P5. Brody Gardner, Isaac Smith looking there as cars shuffling this way and that. Andrew Berry to the outside. He's going to make it 3 wide as they head down the back straightaway. Still a 3-car advantage to the outside lane for David Porcelli as they head into the short chute.
Oh, man. Andrew Berry looks like he is ready to start getting aggressive. And this pack of cars really is going to have to start getting themselves single-filed out here. If the top 3 can stay that clean, they might be able to break away.
It's going to take something big for them to break away. They're going to have a real incident where everyone has to check up, and they don't. That draft is still strong because you're flat out the entire way. So they're going to really hope. You got 1 car way on the outside. They're trying to run that high line. That's a bold strategy. I don't know if it's the strategy I would choose.
Top 4 still in a line here. Side by side for P5. Andrew Berry now leading that outside line, but he's about 6 cars back here on the leader, David Porcelli. Heading into turn 3, very organized here on the bottom line. They're starting to pull away and make a line.
Barry's got to get in down now because he is going to get shuffled back if he stays up there like this. He's out of space.
Mike McCullen checking in from Indianapolis here, I think. Either Indianapolis or Buffalo. He's in Indy. I'm glad I'm drunk in a hotel room and nowhere near this. Team
That's a good thing he's not drunk doing this.
Yeah, really. Team I5G saying they're watching from their sofas and this looks terrifying. Yeah, I would say that's one way to call it. Let's take a look here. Let's pick up Andrew Berry.
Yeah, it was terrifying in the race itself, so I don't blame them for being terrified on the sofa.
Outside lane getting a little bit of momentum here. They've caught up to second place in bottom line, Ted Burns.
They're going 2x2 here.
Andrew Berry, they formed a line here and they've caught back up, so they're going to have some pressure on the outside line now from David Porcelli. Ted Burns back here.
Oh my goodness. He is! Andrew Berry's bump drafting Cameron Baustin down the front straightaway. So much for the you can't bump draft. The onboard split screen. Oh my goodness.
Is that dirty air going to affect him in the corners? Because there is a teeny bit of dirty air here. A teeny bit, but it's there. Right? If you get in too hot with that big draft and you got a car in front of you, you're going to start losing some grip. You can see him. He's sliding back a little bit.
Exit at turn number 2 now. David Porcelli still leads on the bottom line. 2 wide and then 3 wide behind Ted Burns. Cameron Baustin on the top lane with Andrew Berry giving them the bump draft. You can bump draft here. It's a matter of the car in front being able to hold it in a straight line. I tested it with Andrew at 8:15. It does work. You can get a run. In fact, we almost cleared the leaders on the outside by doing it. So it is possible, and that's probably going to have see the move for the end of the race here. They head down right away.
Berry is dropping back far. He is getting real loose up top in these corners. I wonder if he maybe got some wing damage from that.